Okay, we're live. I'm so sorry, guys. We're late.
It wasn't
We're late
me, I swear.
I have had internet issues. I'm on my hotspot right now. So
Ooh.
I wanted to make sure that we at least got on. If I disappear, then I'll be back.
Over.
Well, no, you guys can still go on. I'll just be back.
But we have to keep going on until Misty ends the live. That's
right.
Excuse me.
Welcome to the Vintage Rescue Squad. I'm so sorry for the delay. My husband and I were just like, Wah! So hopefully we got it figured out. I want to welcome our guests. We've got Sarah from Thrift U, and we have Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties. I think she might be one of the only persons that has a longer name than me to say. And then we have my lovely co-host Michael from The.Cult.Of.Vintage. I'm really excited about tonight because we're going to talk about a little bit of a topic that maybe makes some people very, very nervous. It could be exciting to people, very nervous to people. We're going to talk about a little bit of a topic.
Shut up. Sorry.
Sarah. She's got me on speaker everywhere. It's everyone's nightmare.
Your job.
But we're going to
talk. I want to read the chat.
We are going to. Barb said she has no sound right now, but she wants that chick behind you, Michael. Oh, Michael, you need to show the class what you got in the mail today.
okay. So I'm super excited. He's like fresh out the box.
Oh my Lord.
Look he's smoking a stogie, but he's the little one that sits. Isn't he sweet? It is a little rushed in. Where's his tag?
Barb, pick yourself up off the floor, Barb.
It's right here.
He is glorious.
Barb's going to come to your house and steal him tonight.
Oh, dear God. Is he supposed to be like a snowman?
Yes, he's a snowman smoking a stogie.
Oh, my God. Where did you get him?
eBay.
Barb says, what is happening?
Did you get a good deal on him or no?
No.
No, you just loved him.
I mean, I guess for a Russian, technically I actually did. Because I was like, I'm going to lose this. I have lost Russian after Russian after Russian after Russian. Like last minute, if you are in the Russian game, watch an eBay. You want something exciting, watch a Russian on eBay in the last minute. Your phone will just start going like the bids.
He's cute.
Yeah, they're pretty hot.
He's cute. All right, so sorry, you know me. It's like a squirrel, But anyway, we're going to talk about leaving your 9-to-5 to resell full time. So it's a topic that can make people very, very nervous. People have a different outlook on different things. I know that Beth has a very interesting story. Well, actually, Sarah does too. And Michael's wanting to listen to this conversation just as much as everybody else is because he's very curious himself. I left my job about almost 5 years ago, I think 4.5 years ago in the school system. And but I have a different situation. Like I don't have like the insurance stuff to have to worry about because I have a mark and my insurance is provided through my husband. So the people that truly leave their job and go and do this, endeavor and don't kind of have that safety net. You're the bravest people I know. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I want to say too, if you guys please participate with one another in the chat as well. If you have a question for one of us or just have a question in general, if you can type it in all caps, it really does help me be able to see, and I can try to pull it up on the screen, and we can answer that. But make sure that if you have an answer from, if someone's asking a question and you have an answer, put that in the chat too. The four of us are just on the screen, but you guys are all participating in the chat as well.
Yeah.
So
It's a good topic.
Oh, Karen wants to know how's my project coming. Karen, if you watched my video today, I'm very discouraged because I don't know, my pop-up shop.
Oh, wait, that's coming up.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's wrong?
I'm just overwhelmed.
Ah,
And I have no desire to open up my shop as a shop again. And so I don't know why I'm trying to make it that, and it doesn't need to be that. So that's what I'm arguing with myself. So
right.
Because she don't want, and I think anybody with good business sense doesn't want people coming into her business and that being that she doesn't want people to come in and be like, oh.
Ew. I came all this
Oh.
way to come to here.
Oh, see, I can see how you would say that though. Yeah, I understand that feeling.
Everybody's their own worst critic.
Right.
Yeah.
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 My biggest fear though is that I want y'all to come. I want you to come and visit and see each other and all that kind of stuff, but I do want you to buy stuff.
Oh,
I'm not
for
gonna
sure.
lie.
Yeah. I mean,
And I'm
that's the
gonna
whole
give you-
point of it.
There's going to be deals. Deals are going to be made.
Right. So you can buy a
When
trunk.
is this extravaganza supposed to be?
September 4th and 5th. It's Labor Day weekend.
Oh,
No. The extravaganza meaning the pop-up.
yeah.
He's talking about the other
He's
extravaganza.
talking about the Ohio extravaganza.
Ooh.
That's coming up soon. Okay. All right. So I'm going to see where we are at. Okay. This is Lori. Lori, how long were you part-time selling before you made Reclip? The leap. I think you meant you mean
There you go. Yeah.
I've been reselling on eBay since the 2000s, like off and on. Like, we need some money. Let's sell this. You know what I mean? So like very not doing it full time. But eBay has evolved over the years, so it's a lot different than what it used to be.
Very, because I know, but it's so different now. I sold in late 90s and when my dad and I sold together, and just listening to Michelle and Christine and you guys talk about eBay, it's so different now. So that's one of the reasons that I haven't gotten back in that particular game.
I'll just leave them.
Well, do you maybe what might be do you want to give Beth and Sarah an opportunity to kind of, and to Misty yourself, to kind of share, your experiences and what you were doing to what you're currently doing, and kind of like just, what do they call it? Nutshell, like a nutshell version.
My quick story is that I was working for the school system as a Title I. I was the Title I. See, I don't even remember what the name of it. Coordinator, the Title I coordinator, and was doing like reading remediation and those types of things. I was a stay-at-home mom for years when my children were young, and I owned a preschool and was an early childhood educator. But I loved my job, but I wasn't passionate about it as I am the vintage and reselling stuff. So I just decided that I was done, and I left, and I've not looked back since. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. But like I said, I have a mark. So it wasn't as scary for me to make that leap. So I don't feel like I'm just facilitating this conversation, I feel.
Yeah, but you know what? But this is the thing, though, before, Sarah, Beth, I just want to say that, you know what? You all have your own stories, and you don't know what inspiration somebody, or what that nugget that somebody, it is, we all are living our own lives, but at the end of the day, myself included, and anybody that is watching in the chat, you don't know what you guys might say that it might be that click. It might be that aha. Right. It's that light bulb moment, so. Yeah.
So Michael, Michael, do you want to share what your thoughts are? Do we want to go with Sarah and Beth first?
Yeah, I'll go last.
Okay. All right. Sarah, explain to the people your journey.
Terry Cook just asked, Misty, what's a mark?
Mark is my husband.
Mark like lowercase.
Oh. Mark is my husband, my hubby.
So about a little over a year ago, I've sold on eBay for a while, and I still sell on eBay. I don't have as much up as I should, but I do really pretty well on eBay. I pick up weird. You guys would be shocked to see what I sell on eBay. It isn't what I pick up for eBay is not even remotely close what I pick up for live sales. Two entirely different things.
Same.
And but I do pick up things that I make a fair chunk of money on eBay, so I still do it. But so I was an examiner for insurance companies. I would go into people's houses and do their physicals for their insurance. And I've been a contractor for, 25 years or so. So it wasn't like I ever, I've never had my own insurance. My husband /S plural have always had my insurance for me. And I mean, I've never had benefits. I've never had any of that. So then, COVID happened, and I completely disagreed with how my company, the largest lab in the country, by the way, was handling it. I thought they were being incredibly irresponsible. And I still do to this day. And I disagreed with how they were handling things. And I'd gone on unemployment, which, by the way, is glorious. And then they kind of guilted me into coming back. And I came back I shouldn't have, but I did. And within like 2 weeks, they were structuring our contracts differently, and everything was changing, and they were wanting me to do the same amount of work for less money. And I'm like, no, that ain't gonna happen. You're not going to pay me. You're going to lower the amount of my contract. That is not going to happen. So you know what? I had talked to, I'm sure I talked to Maddie and Sam about it. And Sam is a little more, Maddie is my middle daughter is definitely more, okay, you need to think about this.
Yeah.
It takes some time. Sam is a little more,
it'll work out.
I did talk to Bruce, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's
I didn't
good.
just arbitrarily, I kind of did. But so I was thinking about it. It was one night, and I probably had 50 cases that had been assigned to me. So that's 50 people that I was scheduled to see that I just handed back to him. And I emailed this new gal out in Colorado, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I hit send on the email, and I'm not joking you. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh no! Now what do I do? Because I made a fair amount of money. I'd been there a long time, and I had a good contract. I made a fair amount of money. I was, so it was a fairly sizable leap. But I will say this: if nothing else, you have to believe. I don't even mean it's enough to say it. You actually have to believe that you can be successful no matter what you do. You just have to believe it. You have to know it. And some people can work for themselves and some people can't.
The thing of it is, though, too, I work 10 times more than what I ever did. But it's a different kind of work. I love it. Like, I cannot, well, I don't say I can wait to get up in the morning, because I tend to kind of loaf in bed for about an hour before I should be getting up. But I love to get up and get going to work. I do. I just really love it. And
I do too.
And it's such a different feeling to work for yourself. There's a lot of stress that goes along with it too. But it is a different kind of stress, and it's a different kind of feeling.
It's almost like, especially in this line of work, my problem is it's never that I'm not doing something. It's that I have so much I want to do that I have problem prioritizing what needs to be done first. But in this line of work, it's almost like, it's almost a game guessing, I'm not talking about eBay. I'm talking about live sales specifically. It's like a game. You have to try. It's like a wager. Okay. What do you think they're going to buy this week? What's hot this week? Because it changes weekly. It really does. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one week something's hot, the next week you're like crickets.
The market gets saturated with a lot of things too.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the Bluebirds of Happiness. They would sell for a lot more money, but they're not. So if you've just gone out and you're buying a bunch of Bluebirds of Happinesses to resell, I'd put them on the shelf for a little bit because it's a saturated market right now for those.
Yes,
so
you have to know that is the key. You got to be like 2 steps ahead. You can't buy something. You can't pick up something that sold even 2 weeks ago because honestly, you're taking your chances. And then you're like, well, because I see people do this and they're like, well, Missy just got $200 for this. Well, yeah, okay, but then about 50 other resellers just sold the same thing, so it lost its value very rapidly. So you got to be on top of it.
Yeah, you do. And I think I wanted to point out too, and I want Beth to go, I want to point this out. I saw this and I thought this was a very good point from Michelle had mentioned this. And then I want Beth to explain her story. Each person's success level is different. That is 100% true. And where you live, it's different. Like the cost of living where you live is completely different. If you have young children, what is it that you need to get out of what you deem as success? So I think that is a really, really good point to be made. So thank you, Michelle, for that, because I think that's a lovely.
Yeah, we got to circle back to that because that is important.
It really, really is. All right. So Beth, Sarah, she left her high paying job and took the gamble, but she had the backup of having the health insurance. So
I did. I've always been married. So
because it's a scary thing to not have health insurance. Like I would
God, I can't imagine.
So Beth, will you tell the people your journey, your story?
So currently I am not married. I do have a belt buckle. I did ride that rodeo for 8 seconds. But you win some, you lose some.
You have a belt buckle? What'd you say?
The rodeo, the marriage rodeo.
Texas, the rodeo. I survived, Sarah. I survived. So
she held on longer than 8 seconds.
Child. So technically, I still am going to be a full-time employee. Actually, tomorrow is my first day of my new job. However, I'm also in education. I have been a teacher, mainly dealing in special education with a specialty in autism. This will be my 29th year in education. And I have done everything from be a classroom teacher to be a assistant principal. And the last stint was something called a campus coordinator. I oversaw all of special ed, 504, RTI, and state testing on one campus for about 600 plus kids and staff. So I was the law person. That job was about a little over $70,000 a year, which is great in education. It is fabulous.
Yeah, it really is.
I worked a 195-day contract. However, some of what Sarah said rang true. But also, it's just a combination. I was getting paid for about 40 hours a week, and I was working sometimes 60 plus hours a week. And my passion, which is originally started with the flipping of the furniture and all of that kind of stuff, that then grew into staging that furniture for shows, which is now the vintage things. I didn't have time for that. So then I decided to do both. So I was basically spending about 40 hours a week doing my reselling because I started doing shows. I opened a booth and I still do the shows and I still have the booth. And then it wasn't until about, it's almost a year that I got on YouTube. Now, before that, I was on Facebook and doing lives and all of that. But it was so much more fun to share what I was doing and what I had found. I was like, I find wonderful things and I get so excited. But YouTube's a lot of work, y'all. And that's an unpaid, for smaller channels, that's an unpaid love of what you do. So Lovey and I are both very type A personalities. And so trick is we actually tracked Misty. She was one of 3 people that we tracked. And my first video to edit took me 8 hours because I'm not tech savvy. So we kind of tracked it in like, okay, so I know how long she's been out like she had to go out shopping today. We'll give her an hour, maybe 2. Then she had to create a video. Then she had to edit it. I cut it into like 8s, but gave you like an hour. I did 8 hours. Then it was all the times that you were on live in front of the camera. Then the prep work for the live sales and all of that. We figured that it's about, give or take, 60 hours a week. On what we could actually see. Now, we weren't shopping with you or anything. And the job just got much more stressful. And, I was trying to keep up with a booth, staging a booth and keeping it fresh and turning it and, taking off of work to do shows because it's a setup one day and then it's a show the whole day the next. Sourcing was hard. So what I ended up doing, Lovey was like, that's it. You can't do both. You either go with your dream or you do this job that you're getting paid for. And very well, somebody mentioned, I think it's Pam from Kiwi's Collectibles mentioned the 401k, your retirement.
Yes.
I'm not very smart. I didn't do a 401k. And because I moved states, I had Social Security in South Carolina, and in Texas in education, you have to use the teacher retirement system. So I lost all the years for retirement when I moved there. Now,
oh, damn it.
Yeah, I lost 8 years there. So they do a thing about your age and your years of experience total. But then, I'm going to be 50 this year. So even if I can actually retire right before I'm 55. But I can't get benefits until you're 65 plus. So
I think you get partial at 62, full at 65-ish.
Yeah. But I mean, I still have to work, right? So what I decided to do was I was like, I'm not quitting my job. I need insurance. That's the number one thing. Everybody needs insurance. And private insurance, forget about it. You can't, there's no way to do that. So I finished out the year, but made the decision to take a district aide. I saw somebody mention a paraprofessional. It is basically a paraprofessional job. And with that, I took a $50,000+ pay cut. The reason that I did that was the hope is that the stress level would come down. My responsibility level will come down when I'm at work. And then I will have the time and energy to devote to this because you put in 8 hours. Today, I thrifted in 4 stores. I left the house at 9:30. I got back at 4. No lunch, no bathroom, same as being a teacher. But I was on a mission. So it's a scary, scary thing. I saw Vinny say that in the chat. He's just scared to death. But it's kind of like time is short in life. And if you want to do something, the best part about being in education, Misty and I talked about this, was you can always go back. You can always go back to education because they don't have teachers. They're not paying them. So I'm going to do it for a year. My hustle game's going to have to be super strong. And we're going to see what happens. And then Lovey said, if the basic bills can be paid, well, he's a different story because he's like, don't forget about it. We got this, and not me. I'm independent.
Well, and I think that's an awesome thing to have a partner in your life. I think that if you're wanting to do this full time, you really have to have a partner. If you're with somebody, you do have to have a partner that does support you and that can share in your outlook. It's a lot harder if you have someone that doesn't believe in your abilities and that you can do it.
I don't know that I would have been able, I mean,
when I was in the Oh, I couldn't have done it, y'all. I just couldn't have done it.
Yeah,
I
back
have
in the rodeo days, it wouldn't have happened, right?
I just don't think. Yeah, I mean, if I was married to somebody who was, adamantly against me doing this, I would still be at my job where I was pissed off 24 hours a day.
Oh,
And I mean, Bruce has never said one word to me. And I have had some pretty bad weeks.
Yeah.
And he's never said a word. He's like, it'll work out,
My struggle is when it's, I leave the shop about 4:30, 4:45 because I have to come home and make dinner because I still have to come home and make dinner.
you're still a family.
I still have, I don't have young, I have my son's 19. He still lives here, but he's not like a little, he's not a young child.
Yeah, but he is.
But that's really hard for me because I kind of just want to stay there. If I did not make myself leave at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I would be there until midnight.
If I had a shop, I would never be home. Never.
I love it. I just like being there. I like getting my stuff done. And when I get all my shipping done, I'm like, well, I want to ship some more. And I'm like,
well, and there's a million
there any eBay orders I can do?
Yeah.
It's your kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the part of the leaving that job that was gonna take so many hours is there's Dave said he's her sugar daddy. Yeah.
Trust me, honey, it ain't all it's cracked up to be.
Dave, did you see my shirt? Did you see my shirt, Dave? I'm representing tonight.
Oh, that's cute. Cute design.
When you do 100 hours a week, there's no time for anybody outside of this studio. Like I would literally come home from work, be here, maybe eat or cook dinner and come back in here till 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. And I wasn't spending any time with my family. And so that's the whole hope is that I will have more time for my passion and more time for my family and still get insurance. You know what I mean? Yeah. I need that insurance. So
yeah. I think I would, to make this probably the best that it could be, would be if Bruce shared my passion for the things that I buy and what I do. He's not opposed to it at all. He just doesn't have a passion for it.
He's like, oh, that's
that
nice.
is best case scenario.
Okay, Dave, good for you. Good for you. Yeah. He's passionate about your success. He's just not necessarily passionate about the stuff.
I mean, I'll show him what I buy, and he is like, "Yeah, that's neat, honey."
Yeah. See, Mark likes to do this. Like, I think that he would love to not have to, go to work every day. And like when he retires, the hope is that, we'll be able to do this a little bit together. But I tell you, I like to be there by myself. I'm not gonna lie. It's awfully nice to be there by myself. But you'll have other, yeah. But he likes to go with me shopping. We go sourcing and we go to flea markets and we go to shop, to antique malls and stuff together. And, he enjoys doing that part of it with me. And he doesn't
just
mind
sooner kill himself. He would never.
No. I do want to say, middle age crazy. This is something. Do you feel that it's important to be more public on Instagram or have an account? Girl, yes.
It helps.
Yeah, I would say absolutely,
but it does help.
100%.
Yeah, I would say 1,000%.
They're different markets. As crazy as it may sound,
completely different.
Instagram and YouTube are completely different markets.
It's like eBay and live sales, totally different markets.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. There's a whole different the majority of viewers on Instagram are, I believe it's 40 and under. Whereas on YouTube, it used to be very young, where now it's getting into that like 35 plus. There's still a lot of very youthful content. But yeah. And that's the thing. But that's the same thing. Look at what happened with, hey, Jocelyn. But look at what happened with Facebook. Facebook was just for college age students.
So then
now you
Michael.
can't, like a college age student don't want nothing to do with Facebook because they
Right.
want TikTok.
But
So
then when is Instagram going to then become archaic
our
and
new
TikTok
Facebook.
takes over and so it goes. But I
Well,
agree. And
Facebook
Sam and
did
I
buy
are desperately
Instagram.
dropping the ball on Instagram.
I mean, it really, yeah, it just boggles my mind. It's a completely free app that you can
It's
100%
incredible.
advertise. You can research, you can buy, you can sell, you promote your YouTube channel, you throw in your links, you can make stuff with music, copyrighted music.
And
It's fun.
I'm monetized on Instagram. You can get monetized on Instagram.
Yeah, you can.
So I have times now. Now this is getting ready. It's in beta right now, and I was one of the fortunate ones to be able to get the monetization option. But it ends at the end of August. But every week, if you like the first week you go live for 15 minutes, you get $100. Second week you go
Wow.
live for 15 minutes, you get $150. Third week you go live for 15 minutes, you get $250. And it's in beta, so Instagram's not. I get 100% of that money. They're not taking a cut yet. Now they will. They will. So it's just a beta thing that they're doing right now. But I tell you,
if you go into IG, sorry, Beth.
I would say I love going live on Instagram. I love it. Now, I don't necessarily like having a sale on Instagram. The only reason is because I don't like the format of the chat. It's very hard to see
The comments in the picture, the image.
Oh, I see.
But I love just going live and have a casual chat on Instagram. I just do. It's very casual.
Sorry, Misty. My thing is that I think sometimes people mistake doing this reseller thing as with the
Karen.
Karen's crazy.
Hey. Oh, she's going to the IG page.
Yeah. Karen's like, okay, yeah, later.
I think with reselling and YouTube, and it's totally different because like for small channels, we don't get paid by YouTube. We're putting out content, we don't get paid. So I can never count all of the work that I'm putting into videoing and editing and live sales and all that. Yeah. I can't count that as income. It is a platform for me, but the work it's a lot of work. The reselling is in the listing and the taking pictures and the setting up the shows and the freshening your booth. Yeah. Reselling really it's just YouTube is a platform, just like TikTok, Insta, as my mom says, the TikTok. But I'm not giving up on Facebook because that's that demographic. The people Instagram or the TikTok, they are on the Facebook, and I'm still doing sales from Facebook.
No, my soon to be 71-year-old mother is up on the Facebook talking about the marketplace, and I'm like, what are you doing on Facebook Marketplace?
I'll tell you what, Facebook Marketplace.
Forget YouTube, forget Instagram, but she can get on that Facebook and go into that marketplace.
And
so
that is a realm that I have not attempted.
Genius because it is so user friendly. They are geniuses.
So Michael, Pat is going to lose her mind. I see you, Pat. If you do not tell your story, she's wanting to know. Let's make Pat. We want to make you happy, girlfriend.
Well, thank you for that. My story is really rather simple, I guess. So far as I was never a reseller, I was always a collector growing up through adulthood to now. And I had gotten Instagram, and again, I was doing vintage toys that I would sell. And it wasn't like it was like a business venture for me. It was really about just selling stuff, and I would make some extra pocket money and I would just use that for my collectibles. And then I just kind of got dissuaded from it. Like nothing bad happened. I just lost my passion for it. And I kind of switched over into the hard goods. And I don't know, everything just kind of really happened organically, I guess. It just I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. I think a lot of it was COVID, and I was given a lot more time, and I became much more invested outside of my very small YouTube bubble. And I was exposed to different people and new platforms in different ways and selling. Misty was the first one. And so it just, and I was blessed with being able to get to know her as a human being. And I was thoroughly encouraged by Misty, Michelle, Jocelyn. You know, I was encouraged to try this, and I did. And it's worked very well for me. I've really enjoyed it. I am currently full-time employed. I am a retail store manager. I will work anywhere from 40 to 45 hours every week. However, and it's interesting because just like Beth was saying, you know, before we went live, I act like, in thinking about it, I actually do think that I have 3 jobs. 1, retail management. 2, a YouTuber. And 3, a reseller. Like, I have all 3 of those things going right now. Why I have not left my full-time job is because we all get to a certain age. I am now 43 as of July 9th. I know, I love God. But I'm 43, you know, and you just get to a certain point in your life where I don't know if it's the familiarity, right? It's the structure of being in what we know, and then going into something brand new. And yes, I'm doing it, but to wholly rely on it is absolutely horrifying to me, again, at my age. And a lot of it is, well, thank you, Erin. A lot of it is the insurance, and it's about trying to figure out, and it is another revenue stream. At the end of the day, it does pay me. I do get paid well, especially for what it is that I do. And it's kind of like, okay, if I go full-time here, then I miss that money, but I can make that money if I do the reselling. Can I make more? Will I be able to make more than that, still make the same amount? So, you know, it really is about a future. It's about hopes. It's about dreams. It is exactly about what Michelle said earlier about different levels of success and how we want that to look. And I'm trying to figure all of that out, and it's all happening in real time. And it's not, and I told Misty that I was kind of concerned about having this conversation because I'm by nature not an open book. I don't really share a lot of my true self. So I don't know. And it's all happening and everybody's seeing it, but I'm not necessarily saying that this is happening, but everybody is literally witnessing it, whether they realize it or not.
And I think the thing that's scary though, too, if you think about it, is that it could all end tomorrow.
Yeah. That's the whole thing.
Like,
then what the hell, you know?
The platform could just be just pulled out tomorrow. And then what? You know?
You have to.
So I think that it's so scary. Like, that's why I say this a lot, that those of you that are working another full-time job and reselling and putting out content, and and quit their job, and and you are the sole I mean, it's stress. It's a lot of stress. So you guys are brave.
Every time I see Michelle, I don't know, is she in the chat?
New or
yes.
Comfy here.
Comfy.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. Every time I see Michelle, like I'll see her name, so I start worrying. I'm like, oh my God. I hope she's okay. I'm not, because it's just her.
Yeah.
You know? And she was like,
we got Michelle.
Kind of a, you know, bureaucratic big deal in the world of corporate living. And this is what she does. And I'm like, Jesus, oh my God. Oh, I worry every time I think about her.
But you know, Missy, you talk about support.
Well, I was gonna say, Michelle, she's doing what she can. She's following all these avenues that she can. She's doing the Instagram, she's doing the YouTube. You know, so she's
I don't
doing
mean
what
I'm
she
worried about her
can to
because
make.
she's not doing well. I just worry that it's just her.
Right. You worry
Yeah.
she's by herself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, like maybe I should come mow her lawn.
Like the support of, you know, a significant other.
She's moving to Bedford. Did you know that?
She what?
She is?
Sarah, did you know that? Do you know that Michelle's moving to be my neighbor?
No, you're kidding.
Literally.
No.
No, really?
What are you? What?
Literally.
Like pack a box, move.
Look, their faces, they're like,
Yeah. She's selling her house. She's moving to Bedford.
You shut your mouth.
That's
I'm not.
she's serious. Oh, she's serious. It's happening.
girl, you better get in the chat and say like thumbs up or what something.
Yeah, no, listen. Michelle and I are we're like sisters. I am on her butt all the time. Look, see? Yeah.
Michelle, that's awesome. Now
That's
that's
fantastic.
awesome though. That's another
Oh, Michelle, I'm happy for you. That's fun. Good for you.
It's the scariest thing in the world. But she's doing it. She's doing it.
Yeah.
you do
So
it.
I told her the other day that I was very, very proud of her, and I'm proud of her because it's a big she's moving away from everything she knows, you know. But I think that she's looking at this as a new venture for her to live. You know, the second part of her life is going to be the best part of her life.
Right.
You know?
I think part of the problem I have is I never give anything any thought, and I mean that sincerely. I jump headlong into something, and then about 10 minutes into it, I'm like, oh, holy hell. Uh-oh. Because there's no backing out of it. Where other people will talk themselves out of something. See? I jump way too soon every single time. I never
Oh,
give
me
it
too.
Like data. I got to see the numbers. I got to see the data. I got to see how it breaks down. I mean, I did data.
See, that's Bruce.
Yeah,
That's him.
Bruce.
20 years. Yep. And so it's all about the numbers and what is plan A through 4. You know what
Amen,
I mean?
sister.
You got to have a backup, and you got to have a backup for your backup. And it's not just this, like my mom, I mean, I put my finger on a map, and that's how I ended up in Texas. I put my finger on a map. I said nothing above the Mason-Dixon, and the most I've ever been was to Houston. So I'm going to circle in right here. And I interviewed in 14 schools, 10 districts in 4 days, and found a place to live. And I packed my stuff and moved. And my mom was like, she's not moving. She's an only child. She's not going anywhere. Girl, the Mayflower van took off, and she was like,
oh, that's so awesome. See, it's very similar. Now, Beth, you need to get a hold of Michelle, and you need to give her that confidence boost. She can do it.
Michelle, you'll be fine. Misty will be right there. You'll be fine.
Yes. So, but the support is not just family, because this YouTube community, my very first sale, I was texting Sarah, as a matter of fact. She texted me my very first sale. It was like, sell so-and-so now. And I was on sale with her. She didn't know me from a can of paint, but I was like, I have no idea how to price this. I am on Patrick's sale. I don't know what to do. And she was like,
I remember that. Yeah.
I was sweating, like literally I was doing the pageant sweat where you can't sweat in your face. You have to sweat from here down. Girl, I was sweating. But she was like, do the uranium now. And I was like, I could never be as grateful to her, because she literally, Patrick gave me my first sale. Sarah helped me live through it. And I learned watching, I watched Jocelyn, I watched y'all, I watched Patrick, I watch so much YouTube. And the reason is not to pass time. It's because I need to learn more about it. It is the university. It is the Thrift U.
It is.
I do. I watch it I do. I watch to learn things. I mean, if I need to know what's going on, I will always watch you guys or Jocelyn show. Katie and Vicky. I watch Katie and Vicky all the time.
Katie is.
I think that's an amazing point too. And I know a lot of people, I think, and I guess It's all in what you want to get out of it in life at the end of the day. And if you just want to watch the YouTube videos because you like the entertainment value, I say right on, and we appreciate it no matter what. Like, that's what I'm all about. Like, I want some entertainment value. I want people to laugh. If you can learn something, hey, all the better. But I think that's exactly it. It's literally a free education. Should that be what you choose to get out of it? If you want to watch somebody for what they're buying, how it is that they're selling, what it is they sold it for, how it is they're making their videos, how it is they're shooting it, what are they editing? Like, it's all right there for you for free. But at the end of the day, and this is the thing, it is not meant for everybody as much. And I'm gonna be real speak right now. But as much as you may want to do it.
Wait, Michael, you gotta, Michael, you have to tell everybody like you tell us. I'm gonna be for real, for real, for real.
Well, I'm gonna be real. Like, this is on a real, like the for real.
Okay. This one's real. Okay.
This on a real. Okay. Like the for real. Is that as much as, and you got to be honest with yourself, because we had this conversation before, and the thing that I said is that you have to be honest with your limitations. It isn't for everybody.
No.
Because here's the thing, if you are inherently shy, if you are somebody that doesn't really like social interaction, as much as you may want to do it, it's probably not going to be the best thing for you to do, because you have to have a personality. You have to be able to project. You have to, even though I'm looking at a lens, I have to connect with people, because there are people out there. I have to be engaging with those people. I can't just look at a camera and be like, okay, so here is this salt and pepper shaker. It's really cute. I'm gonna buy it. It's $5. Here is a really pretty swung face. I think it's really cool. I think I can sell this for 10. Nobody wants to watch it. Like, and I'm going to be honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want anybody to get into a situation where they're like, well, how come nobody's watching my channel? How come nobody's buying my stuff? It's because you have to be engaging.
You do. And that isn't, I don't think it's something you can
or know how to fake it, or how to know
either are that way, or, but you know what, you guys, there are a million different ways to sell stuff.
Right.
You do. I mean, my God, you can Facebook Marketplace. I'm not kidding you. Watch out, eBay. Facebook Marketplace is huge. You can do it that way. You can sell Facebook Marketplace locally. You can sell on Instagram. And I don't mean a live sale. You can sell your stuff on Instagram. You could make TikTok videos. You don't have to be in the video. You could show your stuff and guide them to your Etsy store or your website. There are a million different ways to sell things. You don't have, this isn't the only game in town. And it really is for very few people, I think. And it's agonizing to watch people who are getting discouraged, because you can see them getting discouraged. And it's just not for
but I always encourage people to try it, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But don't,
I think that it's don't give up, because I mean, when I first started YouTube, I made daily content for a year, did not make a dime off of it. Oh, thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat. You're so sweet.
That Pat is a nice woman.
She is. I love her. So, so you do. And honestly, now what I make from YouTube is a very low paying part-time job, but I put full-time hours into it. Yeah. So, I mean, it isn't just because you're making content on YouTube and just because you have, over 20,000 followers on YouTube does not mean that you're making bank on YouTube. I mean, it really, it's supplements, but you're not making, I'm not making enough to live off of. Simply on making YouTube videos alone.
Thousands of views to make an appreciable amount of money.
But I have fairly successful live sales on YouTube. So in that aspect, I am making a living off of YouTube, but I'm not making my living on my monetization on YouTube alone.
Right. No.
And I think people misunderstand that because, like, I'm not, like I've said before, I'm not monetized on YouTube, but I'm still recording 3-4 times a week, editing or uploading or something. And I think don't give up, because when you don't reach 100 or you don't reach 250 or 500 subscribers in the first 3 months, people are like, well, it's a lot of work. And if you don't really like to do work for no pay, but that for me, it's not work. I mean, it's work, but it's fun. Like, it's super fun for me. It's my outlet.
Right there.
So yeah, I mean, and I will say, like, my mom put in the chat, oh, I just thought, my mom is Bella Rose, and she said, oh, I just knew she'd be back in a year, and she's been gone 20 years. You will get a lot. You would not believe, even in my close circle, from bosses to friends to family, who have said, you're making a terrible mistake. You're not going to be successsul. You're not going to be able to
don't ever listen to that nonsense.
So I won't tell you what my response was, because I'm working on myself, but you know, don't let people will tell you, I can't believe you're leaving your family. I can't believe you're giving up $50,000 to do what? To do this YouTube thing? You know, just, you have to do what brings you joy, period.
Right.
Yeah. That little Jeff brings people joy.
Oh,
Judy, little baby Jeff brings Judy joy.
That Jeff. He's
little baby Jeff.
I will tell you guys here. Let me give you an example of a fantastic way of making money. And using social media. Michael, if you've done a social media video, you need to. My oldest daughter is on TikTok, and she's got, if she doesn't now, she's got close to 1 million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
And this is less than a year, you guys. So what she started doing was she started making just random, during COVID, started making random TikTok videos, and then decided, she made a planner one day. She's got a art background. She had a graphics background. And, but you don't need one. But this is just an example. So she doesn't sell anything on TikTok. You don't sell things on TikTok, but you could do this on YouTube. You could do it on Instagram. You could do it on Facebook Live. What she does is she drives people to her Etsy store. And so she shows things she makes many other videos, but she shows things and it drives them to her Etsy store. And I will tell you, that kid, I am not kidding you, will make $1 million this year. I'm not joking.
Wow.
She has made, if she hasn't made $500,000 yet, I'd be shocked. And that's in less than a year.
I don't know. I have attempted TikTok, and I don't understand
digital
it.
planners.
Me, I'm not even going to attempt it, Misty. I can barely get the IG down, the Instagrams. I can barely get that.
But what I'm saying is, you can, if you don't want to make videos and talk to people like I'm talking to you, you can still use video platform on Instagram or this or Facebook Live or anyway, TikTok, and drive people to where you're selling your stuff, your website, Etsy, eBay, wherever.
And I think that it is, and I've seen a couple people mention it in the comments.
You used to do that, remember? When you used to do your videos about this is what I listed on eBay or whatever?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because I'm going to be doing a what sold on eBay video very soon. I've decided I haven't done one.
I need to make some too.
Probably 2 years. But the thing of it is, I haven't been able to, because I really haven't been doing much on eBay. But I've hired my daughter and her boyfriend are doing drafts for me, so I've been listing more things on eBay. Mm-hmm. So I have some stuff that I have sold on eBay. But the thing of it is, even though I could still put up what sold on eBay videos, but I have people that are coming from watching my videos, and they're coming to eBay because I do see a lot of my customers buying my items on eBay.
You know what? Me too.
I just want to be very clear that I can say that this is what sold on eBay, but that doesn't mean it's going to be like the next great thing to sell on eBay. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be.
You don't want
what?
people
I don't want
to take it as you should go buy this because you're going to make this money because I made this money.
right,
Right.
You don't want to build
Right.
people a false expectation
Right.
on people.
right.
And I just want to say this really quickly because I think that I did not, I poorly communicated and I don't want anybody to. I'm not saying I don't want to discourage anybody. I think Sarah was much more articulate in encouraging people in different ways with which to sell. You don't have to, if you're not the person that is going to be like, hey, because that is what's going to be what drives people on YouTube.
Yeah.
But there are,
Yeah.
you don't have to, you could do YouTube, but don't show your face, just
Yeah.
show the things. You could do Instagram where it's just pictures and promote your eBay page. You can do eBay, you can do Etsy, you can do Instagram, you can do Macari, you can do all of those things in tandem and use your Instagram as your hub where nobody ever sees you, nobody knows what you look like, nobody knows what you sound like, nobody even knows your gender. You know what I mean? Like they know nothing about you and it's just sales, it's just the stuff. So I do want to clarify.
Yeah. Just that
he's not,
this live game is not everybody's gig, but there are many, many, many ways to make money. I mean, Jesus, you can pay for somebody, like you can go to Fiverr and pay somebody to do your thumbnails, pay somebody to do voiceovers for you. There are infinite possibilities to make money. You just, all I'm saying is, as Michael is saying, this is not the only game in town. And it's hard work. I'll tell you what, when you have something, when you get in front of people live every week and, you can't see them, but sometimes they'll be like crickets. It's like, well, okay, now everybody hates me. Great. I mean, there's an element
the day
of that.
has come. They're over me. There it is.
Well, and I think,
perfect.
And I think the most important thing is if you have something and you're having a live sale on YouTube and you're showing something, my peanuts. I'm showing my peanuts here. These peanuts are great.
Right.
And they don't sell. They don't sell. And then you're like, do you see my peanuts?
Right.
Do you like my peanuts? Look at my peanuts. Do you understand these peanuts? If it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. You just put it down and you move on.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like, you people are out of your head. I can't believe you didn't want this. Okay, the next item, since you people with no taste, sold.
Right.
Just send.
Kitchen Cat's
Just
gonna buy
send
my peanuts for
your
$15.
contact information.
Well, and understandably, when we're selling things on these live sales, there's generally, I know you guys have a lot more people in your sales than we do. We have between, 2, 3, sometimes 400 people. But when you look at that in the grand scheme of things, and then you compare that to, say, my audience in eBay or Etsy, that's 400 people. What are the odds that those people are going to like every last thing I have? I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm talking to every one of you people in the chat. There are sympathy sales that you do for me every week, and I love you for it. I'm like, oh, bless your heart.
Well, and that's why I said, like, backup plan. If your peanuts don't sell, even though you got a just in case, we can put a bid in if we need to. But if it doesn't sell, what do you do with it then? If you don't have a backup, like a booth or eBay or Etsy or a yard sale or whatever you're doing, now you have a house full of stuff. And that's a deficit in your profit margin.
Amen.
So,
Speak on it. Speak on that point. Speak on that point.
Yeah.
You can go out and spend $100 and sell one thing for $60. You're still in the hole for $40. You're still in the red. You didn't make anything.
You are negative. You're not reselling.
That's not how math works.
Broke. You just have to have a plan. And I don't have eBay and Etsy yet. Now, my friends Christine and Michelle, they are on me like you're on Michelle Comfy Cozy Living about this eBay. For me, that's scarier than quitting this job.
Why?
That's what
Because
Michelle doesn't like eBay either.
I can't do the technology.
Oh, Beth,
I'm gonna
nonsense.
mess up and
Yes,
they're
you
gonna give
can.
me a bad
Oh no, do it on your phone. You can do it all on your phone now.
Well,
You
that's
can
what I'm
literally
talking about.
have a
No,
listing
don't do
on
it on your phone.
eBay. You can do it on your phone.
Oh, Beth, you are being silly. What is it you're afraid of?
I think it's that I'm going to mess something up and that then it's going to be a bad review. And, that calculated shipping thing, like Michelle Newton covered to be like, oh, that fits in a 6x6x6 and it's going to be.
No, honey, it's all
Honey,
you have to do. Take
ship
the pictures
things.
of the object, wrap it up and put it in a box, weigh it and measure it, put what it is, and then you know exactly how much, because eBay is going to say, how do you want to ship this? How much does it weigh? What are the box dimensions? And
It's
eBay will
exactly like pirate ship.
automatically do it for you. It'll do it for you.
What do you
Just
use
do
to
all
ship your stuff when you have sales? What do you use?
Missy's frozen.
I use my Wi-Fi. We'll be back.
You use what?
Carry on.
I use ship, but you calculate for the bubble wrap and then it's not going to fit in the right.
It's exactly the same thing on eBay, young lady. It's the exact. In fact, I import all of my eBay stuff and all of my Etsy stuff into pirate ship. I don't even ship it through eBay. You're worried about nothing. It's the exact. That is the platform. That's it.
See, I'm uninformed, and I think maybe so. For me, if I don't have all of the data about it, like if I haven't taken,
oh my God, Beth,
then Michael gets me. If you don't know the real, then I'll mess it up. You know what I mean?
Listen to me.
Oh,
when you sell something on eBay or Etsy, the box size is going to be the box size, just like you sell stuff. I always go a little bit bigger, figure a little bit bigger. I always add a pound to what I weigh the thing, but then I don't have it all packaged up like I do in live sales. In live sales, it's the exact thing that I'm weighing and it's been boxed and shipped and taped. But like on eBay and Etsy, just estimate up a pound. It's always going to be around the same amount. But if it's way too much, I refund people. Like if they've paid over like $5 extra in shipping, I always give that back to them. But just estimate up a pound. You are worried about nothing. For God's sake, message me.
Okay. My mom did y'all see what my mom put? She goes, you are not going to do everything 100% right. Get over it. That's support and love.
And sometimes, now see, you're at a distinct advantage because you've done live sales and you've done shipping. Where when you first that's what stopped me from doing eBay for a very long time was that damn shipping.
Well, that's what
because I couldn't figure it out. It's exactly the same thing as pirate ship, Beth, honestly.
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. You are. And I always wonder, why are people so intimidated by eBay? eBay is not intimidating. It
not
really isn't. And Michelle, I think I saw her say you have to have so many listings up. No, you don't. If you have certain stores, you can have one listing up. I've downgraded my store because I just wasn't listing anything on eBay. But eBay is, you can look on, you barely have to put a description in, any day, but you need to have really good pictures with a white background and make sure you have good titles.
There are a million apps now where you can white out a background.
eBay does it for you, and you can do it right there.
You know that these peanuts are going to fit in a 7x7x6 box.
Yes.
They're going to fit in 8x6x4.
But listen. I'm telling you, because Beth is going to hear this. Don't estimate anything. I feel you, Beth. I know why you're like, I can estimate nothing.
I take my tape measure and I will measure, like, I don't actually put it in a box. Like, I will measure this crock and then I'll add an inch to each side.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the size of box that I will
That'll
use.
fit in a 7x7x6 box.
Yeah. Yeah. That would probably go in a 6x6x6.
Probably.
But
then
you're
I'll
not being
lay it.
neurotic enough. So, see, you're not being neurotic enough. That's the impetus here. What
Well,
you
then
want
I'll
to
weigh
do
that,
is just
and let's say it'll
take
weigh
your
2
photo.
pounds. Well,
Just
then I
take-
figure an extra pound for like packing, because I am a psychotic shipper. I have figured extra pound for shipping, for
Nope.
like packing and peanuts and bubble wrap and the box itself. All of that weighs. So that's why I always tack a pound. So I would make this in a 6x6x6 box and make it 3 pounds. But I have physically weighed this, and I have measured it with a tape measure and added an inch on each side. Now, if you really want to be psychotic, throw it in a box to make sure it's going to fit. There
Yes.
you go. That's all you got to do. Have some
Take your
boxes
pick.
made up.
Just go in, do the app, play with it. Just see if just play. Pretend like
bad's
you're
going
going
to
to ship something. Pretend like you're going to list something. Play around with it. You don't have to list anything. Get comfortable with it. Take a couple photos, upload the photos. Once you get to the shipping stage, if you are neurotic as I am, I will take it. I will paper it, bubble wrap it, put it in the box, do it all up.
Oh, for God's
Then
sake.
I will have exact weight, exact measurements. And yeah, but that's where she's at. That's where she's at. So that's what I'm speaking to. And that's what I'm speaking to anybody else that is out there that are as neurotic as we are.
Michelle,
You can do that. And all you would do is label the box, and you would say like Russian chick.
I did
And
that in
when
the very
that
beginning.
box is ready to go and somebody buys it, you print the label, boom. And it's exact.
Yeah.
You didn't have to estimate anything. You have that peace of mind. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna mess this up and have to
No, I
spend
have eaten
an
some
extra
shipping on
$10
eBay.
in shipping, and there went my profit. I
right?
hear you. I get you. But
I
you
did-
can
I
do
did
things
that.
from the gut.
I did that at first. When I first started selling, I did all that because you didn't know. But now, like, I know the size of a box, like I know the back of my head. You know, I just, you know, I'm shipping sometimes over 100 things on a Thursday. I mean, I get the idea of the size of a box, but I didn't when I first started selling on eBay. And so I would do, and plus I was working full time too. So it just helped me be able to just pull something real quick off the shelf.
Right.
But I think you will, everybody does things differently. That's why I don't, people will say, oh, Misty, why don't you do an eBay step-by-step? But the thing of it is, the way that I do things isn't the way that Michael does things. It's not the way that Sarah does things.
Right.
The way that I do it isn't probably the way that maybe you even should do it. I don't know, but tutorial videos are very, 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 very difficult to do. They're
they're tricky because everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. You get a lot of flack when you do a instructional video. But there is Kat the Nurse Flipper. I saw someone say in the chat, she did a very good video. I think it came out today or yesterday about taking photos on eBay. And also Danny, the niche lady, she does very good shipping videos. And so if you've got, you know,
That's
videos that you're
I watched yours and Danny's. There's several people that I watched well before I even started doing live sales because I was so neurotic about messing it up. And I mean, I've gotten a lot better. The first time took me 11 hours to package a live sale, but now we got it down pat a little bit.
you get a system going. Like I mean, and I put tissue paper and all this other, you know, stuff around my stuff, and I still can get about 60 to 80 packages shipped in
I agree.
7 hours. 7 hours straight. But I put my phone down. I I don't have any distractions because I know how I am. The days that I do get distracted because I want to go shopping on Friday. If I don't get my shipping done on Thursday, I don't get to go shopping on Friday. Dang it. I want to go shopping on Friday. Vintage Show and Tell, Misty, where do you get such a wide assortment of the boxes? Amazon.
Yeah.
I buy boxes on Amazon. That's the thing though too that you have to understand with reselling is that you have to reinvest some of the money. You have to have supplies. I spend probably, I don't know. I should sit down and figure this out, but I would say maybe $150 a month in shipping supplies.
Oh,
That's
easy.
not that bad for as much as you,
Yeah.
that's
Easy.
as much as you do. That's really good though.
But I do shop a lot on Amazon and I do reuse those boxes. So I reuse any box. I've
it's
gone
good
to the
enough.
post.
So do I.
I've gone to the post office and I see boxes in the trash and I'm like, no, I'm taking.
Oh my
these
God.
with me.
You know what? You know
And I
how
put them in my car.
they used to, like Walmart and the grocery stores and stuff used to do all
Yeah.
of their like stocking in the evening. Now they just do it at all times. And I walk by. Do you guys walk by and you see those
Thank
broken
you,
down
Rebecca.
boxes? And I'm like, huh.
I could use that.
Would I
wanna-
get in trouble if I took these?
Go to the Dollar General, like the yellow one. And let me tell you what, because they have like those trolleys and they have like nets and they'll stick all of their boxes in it. If you want to help somebody out, like legitimately, if you want this to be a win-win, go to a Dollar General store, look for the trolleys with all the boxes and say to them, do you mind if I take some of those boxes? The look of appreciation on
Yeah.
their face,
Are
they're
you
like,
kidding?
Just said,
yeah, go ahead. It's less work for them to do.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get free boxes, weird shaped boxes
I
too.
don't care. I need the
Weird
boxes.
shaped boxes. Those are the go to the Dollar General, look for the trolleys. You're gonna help out that employee and you're gonna get some weird shaped boxes too.
Oh, I'm doing
for
it
free.
tomorrow. Janet, ship
I'm
a
telling you.
box in a box.
Dollar
If you're really
General.
worried about it, do a box in a box.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also on the expensive item, if it's something like $480, I probably would go ahead and buy the extra insurance.
Yeah, I would too.
Probably would do, sometimes you can even do a signature to where they have to sign for it too. So, although the whole insurance thing with USPS is a little tricky.
A joke.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not honoring.
It's a joke.
No,
It's
but
a joke.
bubble wrap, paper. Make
Paper.
sure that the double box it, make sure that the item is not touching the sides of anything. And for the love of all things holy, do not ship something wrapped in bubble wrap in a poly bag.
Oh,
You can put a box inside of a poly bag.
Yeah.
But don't put, like, someone had shipped a mirror to somebody in a poly bag. So
Did I do that? I don't think I did that.
No, it
You
wasn't
can
you.
ship like a linen. You can ship a plush good. You
Right.
can ship something that's not going to break.
You could put a box inside of a poly bag. I have done
do it
that
all the time.
if the box is kind of gnarly looking.
But the box has to be packed like you would ship it if it weren't in a bag. You
Right.
put it in a poly bag because it drops the shipping cost dramatically. It has to be less than 18 inches, but it will drop.
It has to be less. It doesn't always, though. It doesn't always do that.
Well,
but
it depends on where it's at. Like if I've got people on for whatever reason, the West Coast, Northwest, Oregon, Washington, those people pay exorbitant amounts of money for shipping. So does
LaDonna,
California.
you didn't like my Cheez-It box? No, I'm just.
If I put a box in a bag and it's less than 18 inches, like I was shipping something a couple of weeks ago, it dropped it by $25. I mean, it is significant.
It can, and I think that it's always Scott's like, I know. I think that it's always a good idea to double check those things. If you're shipping something that is over a pound, if it's over, over 16 ounces. You want to ship something to your customer for the cheapest that you possibly can. However, if you are buying something from someone, you have to keep in mind that if you're buying something and it's 4 pounds and I live in Indiana and you live in California, it's going to cost over probably $12 to $14 for me to ship it to you. So you have to always keep that in mind, because I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, well, I had a customer that canceled the order because they said the shipping was too expensive. But you have to make sure it is your responsibility as a reseller to make sure that you are not price gouging your customer in shipping. You have to make sure, that you are sending it to them the safest but the most economical way.
Absolutely. I mean, and that is all part, I tell people all the time, in my opinion, that is the most important part of the sale is the shipping. Because if I can't get it to you without it smashing into a million pieces and for a decent price, then what's the point?
I will
tell you guys, if you resell, check what the price is. It's got to be less than 18 inches. But if it's 18 inches or less, check the difference between a box and a bag, which is also poly, like the part where it says poly mail or whatever. And
which is easy to do on pirate ship.
Yes, and there's options. Check and see the price difference, because my West Coast people, it is a difference of 20, 25 bucks in shipping if I put it in a bag. I mean, I go out of my way to try to get that less than 18 inches so I can put it in a bag and ship it to them.
I will say you can buy large poly bags. You can
absolutely.
buy huge poly bags. I recommend that you having them in your arsenal. If you're selling a quilt, if you're selling a big plush, something big enough that you can put a box in. So that you can get them on Amazon. They're not that expensive, but I recommend having them as part of it's better to have them on hand because you never know.
What I will do is I will cut up. I don't have any sitting here right now, but I'm in the middle of shipping. I can't believe I don't have any sitting here.
Well, I
will cut up a poly bag and I will cover that, like I'll wrap it just like I do a present. I'll cut it down both sides, open it up. And if it's a big box, I'll probably have to cover the box twice. But as long as it's covered in that poly stuff, and I'll tell you why it's so much cheaper. My ex-husband was an executive for the post office his entire career. And they've got new machines that run those poly bags easier and cheaper than they do the boxes. And they really want to encourage people to start doing that. So they'll give you cheaper shipping on it if it's got that poly stuff on it. Truly, and it's cheaper. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. It's always a good idea to just double check it, and you don't have to like put it in the poly bag to double check it. You know what the weight is. You can put that in pirate ship, and you can get the weight and the dimensions right there before you waste.
And I will always, if I've got somebody, say I'm shipping something to you, Misty, and it's going to be, it'd probably be around $9.
Yeah.
For priority. And if I check the price, what it's going to be in a poly mailer, and it's like $1 less, I won't take the time to cut apart a poly mailer and put it in a poly mailer.
Right.
But I will give you guys that $8 $8 price.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper. And that's just how I am. But you don't have to do that.
You're just a joy. You are the pride of Iowa.
The pride of Iowa.
I say that all the time.
Oh, I wanted to ask you guys if you know about this. Speaking of shipping, are you guys aware of that simple export to Canada and like internationally?
On the pirate ship?
Yeah.
Christine, a Side Street Market is testing that out. She's actually got a couple of things that she's been testing out. I haven't tried it yet, but she said
okay, here's what you have to do. Because talk about significant difference in price. And I don't know why it's just not out there. But you have to, the little chat box in pirate ship?
Yeah.
Just hit the chat box, ask them to enable simple export for your international shipping. They'll do it right then and there. And like I just packaged up something for Canada. The shipping was for it's got to be 4 pounds or less.
Right.
But for like first class, even for something an ounce would have been $26. It is now $13.
What?
Something, yes, it's huge difference.
I'm writing this down.
Simple export. Get it. I mean it. It's a huge difference.
He was going to try it to send some stuff to Dolores in the UK because Dolores buys.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
And Pam is also in Ontario, I think, right? Miss Pamela?
Oh, it's everywhere. International, yeah.
I wanted to say though too about shipping is I say this a lot, but if you are a reseller, your shipping is the most important part of your job.
Absolutely.
The most important part of your job.
Yep.
I also wanted to address this. How do you all deal with other resellers going into your chat saying that they will have something similar in their sale or advertising their sale in the middle of your sales?
Well, Sam just stops them immediately.
Yes. You know what? It's rude. If you have moderators and you've talked to some of your like I have moderators that I like, if they see it, they know that it's deleted. I don't bring attention to it during the sale, but it's just not nice. It's not in good taste. That's
Well,
all.
at the end of the day, and we've talked about this before, but it's just not appropriate. It's not professional. It just simply isn't. You don't walk into somebody else's business and then begin to hand out flyers, unless, of course, you've asked. But you don't walk into somebody else's business and start handing out flyers to your business.
Right.
Like, it's inappropriate. It's unprofessional.
And you know what?
Like,
and the other resellers are seeing it, and they're going to be less likely to want to collaborate with you on other things. Right. I'm just going to say that. Like you're not going to want, people aren't going to want to collaborate with you if you are constantly throwing it out there like that. You know what I mean?
You know what the kids call that? You know what they call that? That's thirsty.
Oh, being
thirsty. Like you popped up into somebody else's sale when they're trying to get and pay their bills, and you being thirsty because you're trying to capitalize on their moment. That's thirsty. Or old school, let's go back to the 90s, you call it desperate. Remember that one?
It is a little needy. As my 8-year-old grandson calls it, that's cringe. That's cringe, Grandma.
Ooh.
That's cringe.
That's cringe.
And I will say this, now Sam has absolutely no problem saying, you're not doing it right now. She'll call
I love that though. I love that. I don't have Sam's chutzpah.
Oh God, it makes me wildly uncomfortable. So just understand that, if Sam were sitting next to me, I would probably allow it because it makes me so uncomfortable to confront people and say, I probably would. And then believe it or not, I'm somebody who gets taken advantage of very easily. And Sam will just say, nah, not happening. I mean, she's much nicer about it than that, but she shuts it down immediately. So know that it also puts us in a very uncomfortable position. It just wait till the end of the sale.
We all need a little Sam sitting in the corner of all.
Oh, holy hell. Oh my God. And you guys think I pick on her? Are you kidding me? She is the absolute muscle in this operation.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
She'll call you out. Oh my God. And if she is in a bad mood, sweet Jesus, I hope you're not being sensitive that day because she'll call you out.
I don't know where she.
Oh, one thing that's happened, I've noticed it happening a lot lately, or several times lately in live sales, is if somebody doesn't win something, they are going nutso in the chat over not winning it. And they're like, so-and-so's a sniper. They're just, I don't like them. They're blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and and as if you're having a live sale and you notice that in the chat, well, I'm surely not going to bring any attention to it, because I'm trying to sell stuff,
Right.
But then you kind of get you're looking at what other people, and that's why it's very important to have mods that you trust. There was a point in the time where we were making everybody mods because we had some wackadoo stuff going on.
Yeah, we did.
But I think it's very important to not to have people have some mods that you have discussed things with, that you want them to kind of not bring attention to something, but that you can just kind of they're going to go away for now. And
right.
But it is with the just in cases, that's why that that can be, that's a good thing. And I think a lot of people are starting to really catch on to it. You've never figured it out yet?
It took me forever. I was like, WTH, what is this just in case thing? Now that I've watched, so many, I've figured it out. But yeah, I mean, just like you say, bid like you mean it,
I'm just going to say, I tend to, because I don't want to be here for 4 hours on sale. I want my sales to go kind of quick. If I see it's like $12, $13, $14,
yeah,
$15,
shut it down.
I'm going to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and start counting it down right now, because we'll be here all day.
Yep.
We'll be here all day. So, that's when you start counting it down. And it's always a good idea to just, if we're counting it down and you're bidding something up by $1, odds are you probably aren't going to win it, because you got to at least go up by $4, or, you have a better chance of getting something for $4.
I like it when somebody, and I don't care what the thing is, it could be a $20 thing. I'm not saying that people have to put in, $75 on a $20 thing. But I like it when people get right to the point.
Like,
Yes.
Here's the thing, and somebody immediately puts a bid in. Bravo. Yay.
That's how I roll.
And it's because it's a time thing,
Well, that's the thing though, too. If we can sell these things faster, we can sell more things during the
Right.
sale.
Right.
But you know what? But this is the thing though, too, is, so last night, we had the vintage bunch, the first vintage bunch.
Give me just a second,
sale.
guys. I'm going to say goodnight to Bruce. Excuse me, Michael. Sorry
That's
for
okay.
that.
Good night, Bruce.
Good night.
Good night. And Amy was going to have one of her Amy's Rock and Pop Shop dolls, right? And I know what these things go for. I have a few. And I had a proxy bidder, and it was Karen. And I had reached out to Karen, and I said, look, here's my maximum. I said, but here's the deal. I said, I need you to come out hard with it. Like, I said, she's probably going to start at $50, but I drop 100. I said, because it's going to go for at least that. I just want it to go. Like, let's just do this. I need to see who I'm bidding against,
Right.
and where because I need to size you up too. So if you're going to come at me and I'm dropping hard bids, then I know I got to go harder. But if we're doing this dollar bid, then I'm going to go up 20 just to be like, go away.
Yeah.
As a bidder, I'm only saying that as a bidder, not as a seller, but that's just how I roll as a bidder. Like, I'm just like, let's go.
And
go ahead, Beth. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I was saying, it's a business, right? So you have to decide what you're doing the live sale for. Is it lottery to hang out, like a live chat, or is it a sale? Because I can't do a sale for 4 and 6 and 3 hours, because I'm here. Well, first of all, I'm very conscious of the person behind me. I know that sometimes it goes longer, but it just depends on, like Misty said, the more things that we can bid on, whether it sells or not. Like, if it's not selling, don't sit there and belabor it forever. It just pass it, and maybe, because the new trend right now that
It's cringy
is that they're
Cringe.
Everything, then coming back to see on this round. But sometimes it's going to backfire because it's going to be gone.
Yeah, well, here's my thing about that. I don't like to see resellers lowering their prices on things at the end.
No.
I just don't. I think that if it doesn't, now I'm not saying that you shouldn't go back and do a recap, because some people jump in the sale late and they didn't see it. But I don't think that you should lower your prices. Now,
Never.
I have done that because maybe I was thinking I overpriced it.
Yeah.
And that's a gut feeling, and you know that. But I'm not going to do it, because the thing that what I see is that the person that wanted this item just wasn't there today. Yeah. And it's going to go back on a shelf, and in a couple of weeks, I'll bring it back again. Also, 9 times out of 10, sometimes I'll get an email from someone and they'll be like, I noticed that didn't sell. Is it still available? And then, you can sell it that way. I think that sometimes your buyers will catch on to that, and they will wait until you're going around and you're lowering a price. I just don't think that you should lower your cost. You know what you need to get out of it.
Devaluing your own item.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I would suggest, is instead of like,
but I want to say too, Joni brings up a really good point. Let's be gentle. It takes time to learn all of this stuff. We all make mistakes in the beginning. Absolutely.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a rookie mistake, but if it's a repeated behavior, like with, some people coming in and not being rude during
Like the snipers, is that what we're?
No, I think just people like learning to resell and like what we're talking about, lowering your prices, or when people are coming in and they're like, they don't know that, they don't realize that they're maybe saying something like, well, I'm having a sale at so and so and so, or come to my sale, or I can't wait till my sale, or
I'm selling that same thing tomorrow night for 100% cheaper.
Yeah.
But see, that's kind of like my thing though. And I totally agree with that. I don't want to be dismissive. I really truly don't want to be dismissive. But that, I guess it kind of goes back to a little bit to what I was saying is that if you're like, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I kind of question the business acumen aspect of it, because those things, that's common courtesy. I think that those things should be innate in human interaction. I know that we say it's a business, but at the end of the day, it's a relationship between a seller and a buyer, and between us as resellers and the community within the buyers. So there has to be some kind of common sense kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Where it's kind of like, oh, but you really don't know that. Like in life, I get it. And I don't want to be dismissive of certain aspects, but I do want to say really quickly about reducing your own prices and devaluing. If you're going through and you're doing an offer up and the item does not sell, do a recap. But what I will do, I'm just not going to offer it as like an offer up. I'm just going to say, all right, so this didn't sell, it's $15. The first person to give, I'm going to turn it into a claim. Yeah, and that's usually what will then sell it. Because just as Misty said, if you don't, somebody came in and might have wanted that, and they're like, well, where is it? You just ended the live. Oh, and it didn't sell. So don't be like, well, it didn't sell, so I'll do it for 10. No, it's $15. The first person, because they just weren't there. That person wasn't there for that thing.
Right. And also, I mean, we as resellers, I experience this all the time, where you pull stuff to sell and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, holy hell, I've got all the wrong stuff this week, because it was popular a week ago, but now we've moved on. And that does happen. It happens a lot.
It does. Well, I can sit here and list off some things that are depreciating right now.
Absolutely.
Tanala, Bluebirds of Happiness.
Yep.
Cardinals of Virtue.
Yep.
What else?
Can I say it? Can I be controversial right now?
Of fairy lamps are going down.
She just said it.
Fairy lamps.
I will say this. This is what it is. It's the stuff that people, and it's just what Sarah said earlier. If we keep buying stars and bars, unless it's like a super unique or rare color that doesn't come up, it's kind of like, well, it's the same thing. It's got to have.
Never come back. Wait, those will never come back.
Wait, which things?
Blue
bow geese.
Oh, good God. You know what though? Hey, now hold on.
I'm judging. I'm judging. I'm judging. I'm judging. I'm judging.
No. Listen to me. So I have been, I can't ever do the same thing over and over again. I just can't. So I got to expand a little bit here. So I've been watching like what people are buying on Etsy. So I'm watching these DIY channels, mainly not for the DIY aspect of it, but just basically for what they're making and selling. I don't know why they're buying everything at Dollar General or Dollar Tree, but they are. Anyway, that's beside the point. Okay, you can tune in, because I bought a bunch of like those ducks and like stuff we would never buy, you guys.
Okay.
Just like those ceramic ducks that are like, one of them's got its head down and one of them those, and like I bought this chicken, but you know what? I painted them all with like that black chalk paint, and then I'll go in and do something funky to them. I'm not kidding. I bet you anything this.
Well, now that's a different story though. That's
But you put creativity into, and that's what's selling it. It's the artistry, it's the thought, it's the process that's selling it. It's not that dollar store crap. It's your artistry that's selling
the
it.
Blue Boat duck in and of itself, you're probably going to have to zhuzh it up a bit.
They're so mass produced. They're everywhere.
Oh my God, aren't they?
Everywhere.
They're everywhere.
So I want to say this. Yes, I do think that fairy lamps are going down in value. However, I'm selling one to Wednesday.
Not this one.
Thursday.
This fairy lamp is
it. I saw it. I was like, what is that? Like, it's not.
It is a Fern and Daisy Fenton uranium glass fairy lamp.
Oh, if you find those specialty Fenton ones, they are worth
it's a three. It's a three, and I paid over $100 for it. So guess what? I'm starting it at $100.
I'm guessing you're starting it at $20.
Heck no. I'm very, very nervous, but it is a special one. Now I paid over $100 for it. I mean, and Jeffrey's going to have one Wednesday too that he paid a lot of money for. So it is going to be an epic fairy lamp sale on Wednesday. Now I
don't disagree, Misty. Those are still hold great value, and they should. They're very hard to find.
The stars and bars, you're going to get maybe $30 out of them.
Right.
Which is fine if you're
dollars for it.
Right. So,
of the reselling. I mean, circling back to the whole point is there's a lot of etiquette to reselling on some platforms too that you just have to learn. And if you're going to quit a job or reduce your job to put your eggs in this reselling basket, the homework that you have to do, the learning by skinning your knee that you have to do, and just know that everybody doesn't think your items are worth $300. Just because somebody gets it, Misty might get that on her channel, doesn't mean the 25 people that come to my sale, I'm going to get the same thing. So what's your plan B? What's your backup? Because if you're going to be a reseller, it's not just that. It's not I'm going to be a Misty or I'm going to be a Michael or I'm going to be a Sarah. Who are you as a reseller going to? Yeah, you just kind of, so many people want to be resellers on this platform, but they're like, oh, I can't wait to be a Jeffrey or I want to be a Michael. Well, what are you going to do? Because what you find, what you're going to be able to price for. Like example, Christine and I can go to a Goodwill. I got it for 75% off of $1. She paid $14 for it. So Can I offer it for $6 and resell it and make a profit? Absolutely. Yes. Can she do it? No, she can't. So it's a lot of work and trial by error if you're truly going to make a living being a reseller.
You're so right. You're absolutely right.
I don't know. Honestly, I learned the hard way.
A year ago, I would never, ever in a million trillion years pay over $100 for a fairy lamp to resell. Mm-hmm. I did not have the audience to do that with. You know what I mean? So my best advice I can give is to buy low, sell high. You have to, there are certain things that after time that you can spend up a little bit of money on. If you kind of know that it's very special and you've done your research on it a little bit, believe me, I am going to not sleep very well on Tuesday night, knowing that about this fairy lamp, because I stress out about little things like that. But you just have to, you can't have this huge expectation in the beginning. And I've said this, we've all had that very first YouTube video. We've all had that very first live sale. And it's
for the love. I was sweating, y'all, just sweating.
I literally was like,
I will say, Heather MC, postcards and ephemera, I do very, very, very well on.
Yeah, me too.
So that is something that I think is something to maybe look into a little bit more. And I still say Italian pottery. I still think Italian pottery is something that's coming a little bit.
I love
on-
Italian pottery. I wish it would catch
And-
on.
And California pottery, Italian and California pottery.
I
That's
think
that
we
whole
need to bring the
mid-mod thing. That's
camp
wonderful.
back. Personally, I think we need the camp. I think we need, like, I'm serious. I need, like,
Jeffrey sold 100 Beanie
oh
Babies.
yeah.
What
I mean,
Jeffrey
we
said.
all. That's
Cringe.
definitely the first. That's definitely a first. For
Oh
you
my
to
God,
like
Cringe,
I will
that.
never
Jeffrey.
forget that.
And I'm glad to let Jeffrey have that title.
Cringe.
That's cringe, as Oliver says. That is so cringe, Grandma.
Vintage.
Also, I think if you're struggling to sell things at the same prices that other people are getting for them,
It's not going to happen.
I cannot sell things I don't like.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't sell it. You can tell immediately if I don't like something I'm selling.
That's
So
why I'm having a
if
pop-up
you're
shop.
struggling, you like sell things, buy things that you enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And that will translate to other people and you will attract those people. But
Yeah.
if you like what you're selling, your enthusiasm is catchy. Truly it is.
I
So-
agree
Can I
with
be
that.
honest with something?
Yeah.
Go
Can I
ahead.
be really honest with? There's a lot of stuff that I am enthusiastic about, and it's like I feel like good about it because I know somebody's gonna love this,
Yes.
but I don't. Does that make sense?
Well,
Yes.
Like,
not your taste.
I don't. There's certain things that I will buy where I'm like, I don't want this. Like, it doesn't. I'm not like, oh, I want to keep this. It's da 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 da. I don't get that from it. I'm like, I think people are really gonna like this. Like, it's good. Do you know what I mean? It's got that aesthetic. It's got that factor to it. It's
Yeah.
not for me,
Right.
but I know. But that comes with time and getting to know people and seeing what people are buying. Misty, you're frozen again, girl. So yeah, I was like,
there are certain things I get.
You're
Go
a
ahead,
buyer
Beth.
for a department store. If you're a buyer for a department store or anything, it might not be your aesthetic, but it's what's on trend. It might not be what you would like in your home decor, but if you go to a home decor shop, they've got multiple things to look at because that's your job as a buyer, you know?
Right.
yeah.
Well,
So-
like what you were saying, Michael, I will pick stuff up. Like I had a couple of things in our sale yesterday that I could not wait to sell them because they were so cool. And I knew who would buy them. And I am so excited for them to get the things that they bought. And I genuinely get so excited selling stuff, knowing that they're going to love it when they get it. I do get excited.
There's a special kick when you're like, oh, I think so and so is gonna like this.
I do.
And then they go in on it, and you're like, I knew it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'll be like, and then here's this stupid figurine. Here, buy this. Here's this. I hate it. Buy it.
Well, yeah. Well, that's kind of where I'm at because like the front of the shop is basically all the things that I'm not that crazy about. I've kind of like moved out of my way. I don't like primitives. It's a lot of primitives. Now, having said that, if you're coming to my pop-up shop, I am going to be pulling out some of the things the kitschy things. So yes. So I don't care about it. So I'm like, I just want it gone. And I hate that I have that attitude about it because they're antiques. There's a lot of cool antique pieces in there, but it just don't care about it.
It's just
Yeah. I know.
It's just
It doesn't do anything for you.
no. It just doesn't. All right, where are we at? I sorry, I popped out because
So
my internet.
will you regret buying the fairy lamp?
Oh,
It's gonna, you guys. It's gonna sell. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I've seen it. It's
of
not
course
that it's
it
not
will.
gonna sell. It's gonna sell. But
it's pretty amazing. I bought two of them. I spent over $100 on one and almost $100 on the other one. And
I did that today too. It was
Yes,
the
you
first
did.
time. I did, and I.
Yep,
I
yep,
But
yep.
you know what? That's the importance of knowing your audience and knowing your market. You have to know your market. If you don't know your market, I mean, Misty is a brilliant businesswoman. Michael is an outstanding businessman. They know their market. They know what they can spend up on and what the return on that's going to be. So
Well,
it's
but
really
it doesn't.
important.
But it doesn't always. It doesn't always happen.
It doesn't
that way.
always work.
Yeah,
You
don't
got to
think
be pretty confident.
My prayer right now is like, I'm like, just let me at least get my money back. Just at least let me get my money back. It's not like it's going to make or break me. And it's not like I will regret it, but what it makes me then, this is my thing. I don't know, Misty, you answer. But then I'm like, should I buy these at all anymore then? Do you know what I mean? Like, if this glorious, if I felt that this was worth this price tag, then should I bother like moving? And it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But then it's like, is the market just gone now? And do I continue to?
I don't think the market is gone. I just think that, it's kind of the thing with as many live sales as are going on right now. A lot of us are buying a lot of the same things, and so the market gets very saturated with it. So it almost makes you want to sit back and think, okay, what do I have that what can we make the next big thing, or what could be a Michael thing, what could be a Beth thing, or what could be to where it's like different, but that isn't gonna happen. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't go out and, like, if say Italian pottery is the next big thing, I would not go out and buy a truck full of Italian pottery. You just need to pick it up here and there and mix it in with some of the other things. But I saw Sam put in something, and I want to pull that up again, because if I can find it, I'm probably not going to be able to find it. Oh, here it is.
Yourself in
Sam
debt,
said
inventory.
Yeah, people will always buy vintage Christmas, vintage Halloween, vintage holidays. You cannot go wrong with a vintage.
Oh, I just found my first
holiday
ever. Oh,
did you really?
Oh, it was so good for me, because it was like real. It's like a honeycomb with a scarecrow and
the pumpkin.
No, it's
or the haystack.
And it's a bisel, but it was my first one. And then a black and orange ball. That's it was so
Jeffrey said he bought some Capodimonte stuff. I wish Capodimonte stuff like that would take off. I love that sort of elegant kind of.
I sell it whenever I because I do haul videos, and I sell sometimes 15 to 20 items per haul video. And I sell every time I show some Capodimonte, I sell it from a haul video. So it is, well, if you can find it where it's not like doesn't look like someone's thrown it against the wall, that's the thing.
It's hard to find not broken.
See, Katie said she wants clear glass to come back. I know a lot of people do, but I don't think that it is. I'm sorry.
It can be, the thing is, if you could just stage it so people could see it and understand how beautiful it is. If I could set up and stage a clear glass table and a whole table, I promise you I could sell all of it, because it is glorious. There's nothing more simple than clear glass and low lighting and candlelight and fairy lights. There is and silver. There's nothing more elegant than that. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful,
that is
but
my favorite
setting. Much of it. There's so much of it.
But that's the difficulty with clear glass, though, is that because there's so much of it, and so much of it is
not crystal.
Good.
Right. And you do have to be able to recognize.
Yeah,
you do. You've got to know if something's, like just a pressed glass piece from 1980, or if it's, from 1900 and it's etched and it's Tiffin. I mean, you do have to know the difference, but it is stunningly beautiful.
And I think that, and Sarah does a really good job at this. And I actually was inspired by Sarah to do this. When you're selling something, like when she's selling the planters, you throw in something and you show people how they can display things with it.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, if you're buying a piece of clear glass and or you have a piece of clear glass and you're like, oh gosh, I'm never going to sell that thing. Well,
Throw some
add a
lights
little
in it.
something to it. Yeah,
Throw
you have
plants
to.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first sale, I had 2 uranium plates. And she said, you put some cookies on there and tie it with a bow. I was like, I don't have any dang cookies. So I put oatmeal cream pies and tied it with a red ribbon. And just when she told, she was like, sell it now. And I did it. Y'all, I'm telling you, when I say I was sweating. So reselling is not for like the week. I'm just saying.
I like
Sugar Britches, uranium glass does still sell well, but it's one of those things too that I see on the decline.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
But it has
Green uranium glass, blue uranium glass, amberina with the cadmium. Those I think are pretty.
And Vaseline.
Especially with Halloween.
Vaseline glass.
Yeah,
But
Vaseline glass is cool.
the green glass, because it's you go to a live sale and everybody's gonna have a piece of uranium glass. I have a shelf full of uranium glass and I'm just over it. I'm just not. I'm gonna put it in the
Me too.
pop-up shop.
Well, that's the thing. And it's just like the fairy lamps. It can't be like there's a difference between having something really unique versus, oh, I can find that in any thrift store or any antique mall that I go to.
Yeah.
You know?
And I will pick up uranium, but it's got to be really, I mean, it's got to be something cool. Like, Michael, you sold that powder dish.
The Pierrot.
I thought that was super cool. That was
yeah.
I would have picked that up.
Yeah, I think the satin green uranium glass, those I think are still fine. But it's just the hazel atlas, the stuff that we see it a lot. We see it a lot.
Yeah. Like, like juicers and stuff like that. They're everywhere.
The teacups, the saucers, the serving plates.
I have found some canary glass recently, like 3, 4, 5 pieces of it.
Canary, and so like the jadeite, the glowing jadeite.
Oh, that's valuable. Yeah.
That's good. Anything with some marbling in it. I think West Germany pieces. I said that the other day. I really think that West Germany pieces are even now I'm going to tell you right now, if you can find you a West Germany Hummel bird, those are doing really well. A Hummel bird. Or not Hummel.
It'll usually say
global. I said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Global.
I did just saw some of those, yeah. No?
So I have a question, like your opinion. So there were so many fairy lamps and uranium at one point that the prices were going really high. So for some buyers, they weren't able to compete with that, right? They weren't able to purchase when a Stars and Bars fairy lamp was, $60, $70, $80. But now that you're not getting that price for them, there are people who I feel like sometimes still want them, and you just won't get the profit margin. So like if I get it for $3 and maybe it's a Stars and Bars amber and you put it, but you may only get 15 for it, but it's that person who couldn't afford at the time to pay the $80. So some people still are buying it. I'm finding it's just not that huge profit margin.
Yes. Yeah.
For hanging out on that.
Yeah. Oh, I think people will still buy them. But as resellers, I don't think you should expect to get those kind of prices anymore. Because people like collecting them. And one of us has got to set up a table. Misty, it's got to be you because you're the one that has hoarded all of the fairy lamps in the Midwest. But an entire table, the entire length of the table down the middle with fairy lamps. I think it would be
have an entire shelf full of fairy lamps right now.
She just showed it on her Instagram Live.
And Emma is dipping her toes in reselling a little bit. Her and her boyfriend went out to go shopping this weekend. They found 2 fairy lamps. So she's finding them. She's finding them everywhere. But I'm finding a lot of the common ones. I can find Fenton ones.
At the flea market this last weekend, I picked up 2.
I can find Fenton ones, but I am paying, I just paid over $100 for them. I mean, I'm paying up for them.
Let me show you this. I got to show you this really pretty one that I picked up. It's sold. In fact, I sold it before it ever got on sale, but I have to show this.
Risk. You know, if you're going to be a reseller and this is going to be your income, that's the business risk piece of that, where you're in a position now where that risk can be taken, as where new resellers just starting out, I can't take that business risk. So
and like I said, I couldn't have taken that risk a year ago.
Right.
I couldn't. I would not have. I will say that I will be having several fairy lamps at the pop-up shop. So
well, I'll tell you what, you guys, I may not act like it, but I get real nervous every week. I get like sick to my stomach, because I have always made more money than my husband. And this is how I just do. And so when things go bad, everyone's looking at me. I mean, thank God for Samantha, honestly. Really. Talk about somebody who talks me down from the ledge on the daily. It's Sam. I got to show you this fairy lamp because I love it so much.
Saying that she had to make her car payment with it when she first stopped. She was like, "Look, y'all, we're going to sell this because I have a car."
Hey, I got a car payment to make, you people. No, okay, this fairy lamp, absolutely nothing special. It's just Westmoreland, but I've never seen one, and I absolutely love it. Look how cute this is.
Oh, the Christmas.
Isn't that darling?
Mm-hmm. I think it is. I love the Christmas, but that's the thing. I think because it's Christmas,
it's different.
That's what sells it. You know, you're
pretty?
doing that. Mm-hmm.
I sold it to somebody. She's giving it to her mom for her birthday, and I sold it before the sale. But I thought that was so pretty. I wanted to show you guys.
I like it too. I think that's pretty.
I loved it. I mean,
I don't want people to think that fairy lamps are like you can't sell them, because you can. You totally can.
Right.
But and I know people on the West Coast have a hard time finding fairy lamps. We can find them in the Midwest because they are made here. That's why. Yeah.
We don't very much.
A lot of them were made in these parts. So, well, it is 10:03, and you know, I feel like we had a lot of this was a good discussion. That's why I love Monday nights, because I feel like there's like 100 of us in the room. Well, there's 513 of us here in the room, and we're all just sharing each other's ideas, and can get some things out, and we're learning from each other. And I love that. I really, really do. I really like this format, to be able to talk, and y'all are talking to each other and answering each other. And
this is where you learn things, you know.
Thumbs up. There's only 231 thumbs up.
Boo.
Cringe.
I will say too, I've made the decision, and I have things booked up until the end of October, but I am really no longer doing solo sales. I'm doing sales with somebody every Wednesday. I just like the format of it. I just love it. I'm having so much fun doing it. So for the time being, that's what I'm going to do. Emma will be popping in,
isn't it? We don't do sales with other people because we have such big personalities that it's very difficult. So don't ever think, any of you, that because, you know, we haven't asked you or we don't, it has nothing to do with that. We just have huge personalities.
Well,
and we both.
The same thing goes for me. I can only get to so many people. There's only so many Wednesdays in a month. So I'm wanting to have sales with different people. I'm having a sale tomorrow with Michael and Michelle. That's the Three's Company sale. So that's tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern. And then Wednesday, I'm having a sale with little baby Jeff. Little baby Jeff having a sale. And actually, most everything that I'm selling on Wednesday are things that I bought when Jeffrey and I went shopping together last week. And then the Wednesday after that, I'm having one with little baby Barb. Little baby Barb and I are.
That damn Barb, I love her. I love her like a sister. Love her. Love that Barbara.
Awesome. The sale last night was. I love the signs. I love the pace. I actually stayed awake to watch it.
We were a nervous wreck, y'all. I am not lying, because we were so worried that because there's 7
technology.
Oh, he took
And we were like, we're all going to mute each other. And it worked out so well.
I thought it worked well. I watched some of it, but I can't get anything done if I watch it. But I thought it worked out really well.
Well, everything just happened organically because we were in the back studio and it was like anytime anybody talked, you just heard this roar, and it was like, nobody can talk with the person that's on the screen. So then it was like, well, what do we do? And Marion came up with the just in case, and I was like, signs. And then we just
and we were moving.
That was cute.
I like the pace.
We were moving.
I liked the pace.
Yeah, the pace was good.
I did like the pace of it.
Okay.
A lot of people have said that they like the quit. I always say there's a different, like, this is a Monday night. We're not selling anything. We're chatting. If I'm going to have a sale, I'm going to have a sale and I'll chat on a Monday night.
My business, people. This is my job.
Yeah.
This is my brand.
And I like to talk. Don't get me wrong. I'll talk all damn day. But, I got to, time is money.
She still has to cook. She still has to clean. All of the other stuff still has to be done. I hear you, girl.
I got to do laundry. I got to cook. I got to clean. I got to do the floors.
And then you got to package and ship an invoice.
But that's my favorite, though. I love shipping.
I hate shipping. I hate that you love shipping. I hate that about you because I hate it so much.
Thursdays are my favorite day of the week. That's my shipping day.
You are.
I mean, I ship every day, but Thursdays are my big shipping days. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Beth, thank you so much. Sarah, it's always the pride of Iowa. It's always just a joy to be in your presence.
Absolutely.
This was a lot of fun. Listen, you guys, if you're not following Beth and Sarah and Michael on YouTube, go do that right now. They have live sales every week. So they sell really nice things. They're really, really wonderful, wonderful channels. So make sure that you do go subscribe. All of their information for their Instagram and their YouTube is in the description. Also, Sam and Sarah have a Facebook group. I don't think I've linked that. I will go in and link that. That's a lot of work. I don't know how you all keep up with that.
Oh, we don't. You know who does it? Carrie and Angela. We're like, okay, you know what? It was supposed to be like just subscribers that we see all the time so we could get to know people. It's got like close to 20,000 people. We don't even know what to do with them because we can't convert them into YouTube people. I don't know what we're doing wrong. It's like we need to hire somebody to figure it out. I don't know what's happening.
They love their Facebook.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Next week, we will be on Michael's channel. We'll be on Michael's channel for another.
He already has the guest planned. There's confirmed.
He hasn't told me yet.
I know.
Guys.
Thank you guys so much. Make sure that you follow these wonderful people and just keep at it. Keep going. You can do it. Give it a shot. Don't stop.
Don't
stop. Get it.
And just remember, there's 100 different ways to get to the end result. This isn't the only gig. There's lots of ways to make money.
There is. And you can do it. All right. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you.
Thank you guys. Love you.
Y'all stay
Bye.
pretty.